You probably know someone like this. Someone who hurts people and never apologizes. They lie easily. They twist conversations, and even when clearly responsible, they stay calm. No shame, no regret. No visible guilt. You replay the situation in your head over and over. You feel bad, you lose. Sleep, you question yourself. But they don't. They continue their day normally. They laugh. They talk casually. They act as if nothing happened. And the strangest part, they often believe they did nothing wrong. Why? We grow up believing conscience works the same for everyone. If you hurt someone, you feel it. If you lie, your mind reacts. But psychology discovered something disturbing. For some people, guilt is not an automatic emotional response. It is not suppressed. It is not hidden. It is barely there. Tonight, we will understand why some individuals genuinely feel little or no guilt, and why they can be far more psychologically dangerous than openly aggressive people. A university study once observed interpersonal conflicts inside a student residence. One student frequently caused disputes between roommates. He would tell one person what another had supposedly said. Arguments escalated constantly. When confronted, he was calm. He never denied strongly. He never got angry. He simply appeared confused and said, "I was only trying to help." Later, recorded conversation showed he had intentionally altered information to provoke reactions. Researchers interviewed him privately. They expected embarrassment. Instead, he explained calmly, "I like seeing how people react." When asked if he felt bad about friendships breaking apart because of him, he answered, "No. They chose how to react. Not my responsibility." For him, people's emotions were not something to care about. They were something to observe. Guilt is not only a moral lesson taught by parents. It is a biological system. Your brain contains circuits designed to maintain social connection. When you hurt someone, your brain simulates their emotional pain. You imagine their sadness. You imagine their disappointment. This mental simulation creates discomfort. That discomfort pushes you to repair the relationship. That feeling is guilt. Guilt is actually a social survival mechanism. Humans survived by cooperating. So the brain evolved to punish you emotionally when you damage trust. But in some individuals, this emotional simulation barely activates. They understand the situation logically. They recognize that harm occurred. They simply do not feel the emotional impact. Their brain processes events differently. Instead of emotional response, they evaluate outcomes. Instead of relationship damage, they see opportunity. This is often linked to psychopathic traits and certain antisocial personality patterns. Important. This does not mean all such individuals are criminals. Many live completely normal lives, but their emotional experience is not the same as yours. Consider a common real-life example. A coworker takes credit for your work. You confront them politely. They smile and say, "I didn't mean to. It just happened." Later you discover they intentionally presented your idea as theirs. When confronted again, they change the subject. They compliment you. They minimize the situation. They might even say, "You're overreacting." You feel hurt. You feel betrayed. You think about it for days. They forget it within minutes. Not because they are brave, because their brain does not process the emotional weight. You may notice certain patterns. They rarely apologize directly. If they do apologize, it sounds mechanical. "I'm sorry you feel that way." Notice the wording. They are not apologizing for what they did. They are apologizing for your reaction. They often reverse blame. You explain your feelings, They explain your faults. You begin defending yourself instead of addressing the problem. This is psychological redirection. This is why arguing with such individuals becomes exhausting. You are communicating emotionally. They are negotiating strategically. You seek understanding. They seek advantage. You want resolution. They want control over the narrative. Your brain processes relationships. Their brain processes outcomes. So conversations never feel resolved. You leave confused. They leave satisfied, perhaps the most. And settling aspect, they rarely appear aggressive. They often appear composed, friendly, charming. Because strong emotional reactions are not present, and humans naturally associate calmness with honesty. But calmness can also come from emotional detachment. They are not calm because they are patient. They are calm because they are not emotionally affected. These individuals can function very well socially. They can succeed professionally. They often understand social rules intellectually. They simply do not experience them emotionally. They may maintain relationships as long as those relationships serve a purpose. Once the benefit disappears, emotional attachment fades quickly. Not out of cruelty, out of absence of emotional bonding. It is important to understand everyone makes mistakes. Everyone sometimes avoids responsibility. That is human. But the difference is emotional reaction. Most people feel discomfort after hurting someone, even if they do not admit it immediately. Individuals with very low guilt response feel almost none. No internal pressure to repair. No emotional tension, only situational inconvenience. This knowledge is not meant to create fear. It is meant to create awareness. Recognizing behavioral patterns helps you protect emotional boundaries, because the most confusing part is this: the people who feel the least guilt often appear the most reasonable. They don't shout. They don't panic. They don't break down. They stay calm, and that calmness convinces others they must be right. But sometimes, calmness is not honesty. Sometimes, it is simply the absence of empathy.